Good afternoon and thank you so much. Indeed, we are at Wits University. I am with the spokesperson of the university, Ms. Shirona Patel. However, it is important to mention that exactly 1 month ago on this day, Wits students held a silent protest in solidarity with the Rhodes University students who were facing a rape culture within the university. Now, one might ask herself or himself that could that also be looming here at the Wits University? Could the rape culture be looming also in this particular university? To give us an update on the alleged rape case that took place at Wits Junction University, Ms. Patel, can you kindly share with us how far is the university with the investigations? We understand that the alleged rape took place about 2 weeks ago.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity. So, the university received reports that a person was raped at the Wits Junction Residence Complex. A complaint was laid, and the university was investigating through the Gender Equity Office. What's happened since is that the investigations were underway in line with the university's sexual harassment policy. Now, remember that following issues that we had in 2012 around sexual harassment and gender-based harm, issues at Wits University, we developed a strong policy, put in place sufficient structures to deal with these types of issues. However, one complaint is one complaint too many, and we should say that. The university has worked with the complainant over the last few weeks, and the nature of this engagement is obviously confidential. You will appreciate the sensitivity that we have to appreciate in this type of instance. And we urge everyone to respect the confidentiality and the integrity of the complainant. She's our first priority, and she's the person that we should be protecting at this stage. And so I would urge the media and others out there to not use her case to blow things out of proportion, to talk about a rape culture, particularly when it impacts on her integrity, her confidentiality. Having said that, we as South Africans know that South Africa does experience high rates of rape, of gender-based harm and gender-based violence, and this is something that we cannot ignore. It happens in our campuses, in our workplaces, even in our schools, and this is something that we've committed to tackle. Wits has a zero tolerance policy towards addressing approach to sexual violence. And in this instance in particular, we'll do whatever we can to support the victim and anyone like her who may have experienced something similar to take it forward.
Well, Shirona, there's been talks that the university allowed the perpetrator to stay within the residence while the victim is also there. There was nothing done or anything done against the perpetrator, but then your policy says that for protection purposes there might be change of residences of the perpetrator. In this case, was this done by the university, as we have heard in some reports that the perpetrator was forcefully moved by the protesters last night?
Last night, the perpetrator was moved to another residence, and this was done under the auspices of the residence management and the people who were there. Our policy is clear on a number of things, and I think this will form part of the investigation as it continues. As I said, we've got, in addition to the Gender Equity Office, we've got a Sexual Harassment Advisory Committee that advises members of the Gender Equity Office. Some of them will be meeting with the students later today at 5 p.m., not to provide any excuses, but to provide explanations, clarifications, and also to deal with this issue decisively. We are not a university that wants to hide any of these issues. If there's a problem with regards to sexual harassment, gender-based harm, or with rape, we are urging anyone who has experienced anything like that to report it to the Gender Equity Office. Our Sexual Harassment Advisory Committee has made it clear that they will ensure that anyone who stands in the way of justice with regards to gender-based harm will be held to account, or anyone who minimizes what rape is will also be held to account. So I think as a university, we take these matters very seriously, and this applies to all our students, all our staff members. The policy, if you do read it, is very detailed, and it sets out exactly what we expect from students and staff. As I said, I can't comment on specifics of the investigation. This case is one that is quite sensitive, and it's one that we should be treated as such. We can't compromise the confidentiality that's been shared, particularly from the complainant side, and it's for this reason that we won't give out any personal details, etc., with regards to this matter.
Thank you so much indeed. We will respect the confidentiality of the investigation. That was Shirona Patel, the spokesperson for Wits University, explaining to us the progress that they have done as the university in terms of the alleged rape that took place at Wits Junction just about 2 weeks ago. Back to you in studio.
No, so thank you for that report, and to your guest, Shirona Patel. They're just explaining to us that the alleged perpetrator has been removed from the campus, and investigations have been initiated, and they're respecting the processes. It is a very sensitive issue, and we'll be keeping an eye on that story and bringing you the latest.